Being unemployed sucks, okay? I know, I've been there. So in today's video, I'm gonna go through 5 things that you can do while you're waiting. Stay tuned for the very last tip because it's my absolute favorite. It involves how you can actually make some money in this period of unemployment. Probably spend most of your time searching for jobs online, finding out how to improve your CV, interview skills, and all of that. But the thing is, that can be totally draining. You need to do some other activities aside from just focusing on this job hunting thing all the time. So these are my 5 suggestions of things that you can do that are going to help you out. Let's get right into it. So you want to upskill yourself. You want to take some online courses or just learn some new information to broaden your knowledge. Most of us have a qualification that we worked so hard for that by the time we're done with school, we just don't want to learn anything new, and school is very draining. So I definitely understand. When you don't know how long this season is going to last, you can't afford to waste the time. It doesn't necessarily have to align with what you studied. You could choose a completely different field and you never know, that might end up being a whole new career path that you fall into. What happens if the industry that you're in is completely saturated? Maybe you're not going to get a job for 5 years. Are you just going to sit around and wait? No, I think it makes much more sense to learn something new. It enriches you, upskills you. You can definitely still add this to your CV. Now these days we're so lucky, there are so many careers that you can go into that don't require a formal university qualification, and you can actually learn these things online. Tip number 2 is to volunteer. When you're unemployed, you can start to feel like you're not adding value and you're not partaking in society, and it can be a really depressing time. The thing I love about volunteering is that you are able to add value to your society and do something positive for the community that you live in. You can either find a non-profit in your community or you can start one. This is something that I've actually done. When I was still a full-time engineering student at UCT, I started a non-profit organization called SAS for Girls. And this was aimed at providing mentorship and academic guidance for teenage girls. And you know what, at the time I felt that yes, I'm not accomplished, I haven't done these amazing things, I'm still just a student, but I can add value, and it was really, really good for my self-esteem as well as the girls. I probably learned so much more from them than they learned from me, but I do know that I definitely help them out. There's actually a video I made with the girls and it's right here on my channel, so you can watch that out. It was so much fun, and the thing is, it allowed me to get out of my comfort zone, get out of my university bubble, and go out there and make a difference. Because to them, they thought I was so inspiring because I'm studying at UCT and I'm a university student, and they felt that they could learn so much from me. So now imagine you, who already has a qualification, how much more you could also help out those behind you. We're always taught to look for mentors and other people that can help us in our career, but how about you do the very same thing for people that are still in high school in your local community? I always get asked about my nonprofit during interviews. This always comes up. They love that I started something and I did something, and I actually learned so many skills while I was doing that. If there's nothing else you take away from this video, just take my plea to just give back to your community, mentor someone, and just help somebody out. Number 3 is doing some market research. One of my pet peeves in life is when people tell unemployed job seekers to start a business, as if that doesn't need any money. They claim that you don't need any money to start a business, but in my experience, that is not true, and it's not very good advice. But what you can do is market research on a business idea that you may have. The thing is, most people spend their lives thinking that if they had enough money, they would start a business and work on their own. Now, that may very well happen to you, but until you actually do some market research and try to draw up a business plan and find out if this idea is even viable, it will always be an idea that you have in the back of your mind. Now, the great thing about being unemployed is that you have plenty of time on your hands, and I would use this time to try to see if the business idea that I have is actually viable and is something that if I was given money, I would be able to do something with it. Now here's the thing, if I gave you R1,000,000 today, would you know what to do with it? Would you know what to invest it in? Would you know what business to start? And most of us have vague ideas in the back of our minds, but we've never actually crunched the numbers to find out if what we can do is actually viable. So I would highly recommend that you look into doing some market research. In my experience with entrepreneurship, the biggest mistake I made and the biggest regret I have was not doing sufficient market research. I actually just put my time and my money into it, and it didn't work out because I had not done adequate research before starting. So while you're unemployed, I would highly recommend that you go and you do some research for the business idea that you have. Possibly draw up a business plan. Imagine that you had the funds and what you would do with it. So that whenever you do get a job and you have some money to set aside, you already know exactly what you're going to do with it, exactly how you're going to spend it, because you did adequate research on this business. I also don't fully recommend that if you've never been an entrepreneur and you've never started a business to just do that full time, because it's very stressful and it's very hard and you don't always make money right at the beginning. But what works great is if you have a full-time normal 9-to-5 job and you use some of that funds to start something on the side and you grow the thing that you're doing on the side while you're working at your job. This is perfect because you get to test out the idea in a low risk way while you also have access to funding, which is your salary. Yes, it will grow much slower. Yes, you won't have a lot of time on your hands. Yes, it takes a lot of sacrifices, but I think this is a lot more reasonable than either quitting your job to start a business and then it fails and now you're in financial trouble, or never ever trying out a business idea because you don't even know what to do, you've never done research, you don't know how you would do it. The thing is, when you have a job, when you finally have money, you probably won't have the time and energy to do all of this. I would highly recommend that you do all of this now. Now stay tuned, because the next 2 tips do involve making some money. Number 4 is tutoring. Now you can either find a tutoring company that you can join. There's so many these days. You just sign up online, you give them your CV and any qualifications that you have, and you state which subjects you'd like to tutor. Or you could become a private tutor where you don't work under a tutoring company, you just offer your services to private clients. You know, even if you're not a fully booked tutor and you only tutor like 1 or 2 people a week, that extra 150 to 200 Rand that you can get per hour of tutoring could be money that you use for things like buying data, airtime, etc. You could either tutor high school students with high school subjects that you were really good at, or you could go back to university and tutor some maybe 1st or 2nd year subjects that you just aced and enjoyed, and you can go back to your university, put up some posters about you offering your tutoring services. Let's head over to canva.com, which is free to use, and search for tutor flyer. Once you're here, you'll see that they have plenty of tutor posters that you can edit according to your taste and your style, and you can customize it as much as you like. I'll just click this one. Now with Canva, you can actually download your image and save it as a PDF if you want to print actual physical posters, or as a PNG or JPEG, which is a picture file that you can share on social media, WhatsApp, anywhere, to let people know that you're now offering this service. I'm a big fan of going out there on your own and hustling to find some work, so I would highly recommend you make a poster for yourself, print it, and then advertise your services. You don't have to deal with any middlemen, you get to keep all that profits for yourself. And number 5, you could become a freelancer. So what you could do now is figure out if there are skills that you can offer to small businesses in your area, and they will pay you money to do those things. You'll get paid on a project per project basis. Now you'll need to use what I said in step 1 about taking some courses or learning things online, so you might need to learn something new. And this could be fun and you could enjoy it and possibly find a new career path. And number 2, you'll need to know how to do market research. You'll need to be able to go on the internet and figure out what it is that the market requires and how you can offer those services. The great thing about becoming a freelancer is you learn how to make your own money. You don't rely on anybody, you depend fully on yourself, and the amount of money you make is solely dependent on the amount of work that you put in. I've made a separate video just on that. If you'd like to know more about that, please check that video out, because I do take you through step by step on how to go about becoming a freelancer. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch this video, and I really hope that maybe you learned something that you could try. If so, let me know in the comments something that you're looking forward to trying, or if you have other ideas, leave them in the comments for other people to see what else they could do while they're looking for a job. If you'd like more videos on how to level up in life, please subscribe to my channel, as I have plenty of content coming up. I'm so excited. I'm really enjoying this process of making videos. And yes, thank you and have a good day. Mwah.